Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. This is the first podcast for counselors that just don't align with the traditional approaches to business and that want to use their spiritual gifts, talents, and interests to create, you guessed it, a private practice with soul. So, look, leave it to me to provide you with everything you need, including strategies that you can use to increase your income, reduce your workload, and of course, increase inquiries and referrals to your beautiful soul-led private practice. I love it so much. If you haven't done it already, grab your journal, grab your pen, and let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. I'm just going to dive deep into it today and not fluff around at the beginning because I have just come off a call with my coach and I want to share with you some little breakthrough. Well, I don't want to say little. It was a breakthrough. I don't have to say whether it was big or little. It was a breakthrough. And aren't all breakthroughs big? Yes, they are. So there's a couple of things that I want to unpack with you while we're here. So, okay, it's about Facebook ads. I know, Facebook ads. So the story is I've been running Facebook ads for about 12 months now. And usually I am running what's called a lead ad or a lead generation ad. And that's just a fancy term for getting your stuff in front of new people who haven't seen you before. And basically all I do is I give away a freebie. I say on my ad, I'm like, would you like this free thing? And if you would like this free thing, all you have to do is sign up for it. So they don't pay for it, but they pay with their email address, I guess you could say. That would be the currency. And then what happens is they get an email from me that says, yeah, thanks for being part of my world. And here's the free thing that you wanted. And by the way, I have a free community that you're welcome to come and join. And I put the link to my free community, which is Counsellors Connect Australia. And I have another one called Australian Counsellors in Private Practice Online. So if you're already in those groups, every week you will know we have a welcome post. And there's a long list of names. That's how I build my group, right? And it costs me between $5 and $10 a day to build up that group. And I don't even have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about how am I going to find members or anything like that. This ad just runs on autopilot in the background, costs me nothing to run. And yeah, I get to build up the community and I really love doing that. Not because I want to have a big community, but because I want to get to know where everybody's at and what they're doing, keep my finger on the pulse, and this is my thing, right? However, I've also been playing with two other ads. So one more recent than the other. One ad is for my essential forms in private practice, and the other ad is to my mini membership, which is $33 a month, and that is called Private Practice 101 Start a Private Practice, which has recently had a big facelift because I do practice continuous improvement, and it was the time of the year. It'd been nearly 12 months and I was due to improve the program. And so one of the beautiful and fun and exciting things about that was the program now includes, it's been changed and remodeled to now include 3 certification courses that people in there can use to count towards their annual OPD, ongoing professional development, or continuing education requirements with their professional membership body, regardless of which membership body they're in. So that was a huge undertaking. If you're in that group, jump into the portal and you'll see like the facelift. All your content is still there. I haven't really made any dramatic changes to the content. It's just more the layout and the format so that it would meet requirements for certification for you. So anyway, all that's happened and it's so much fun. But anyway, I've been running this ad now for a little while, and I run the ad to this program, PP 101. I run the ad to that for $15 Australian a day. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I don't know if this ad is working. I don't know if it's converting or not. I don't know if people are actually seeing the ad and then coming into the program from it, because I also know that people coming to the program because I've got friends in there and their friends like, oh, this is really cool and you should come. And so they come and they tell me that they were recommended by somebody who was already in the group. That's how I know that. So they seem to be the two ways. But anyway, what happened was during the week, I got another notification from Meta, which is Facebook's business division, if you like, telling me they'd just taken another $300 payment out of my account for Facebook ads. And I had a mini meltdown about that because I thought, oh my gosh, I think that's like 3 payments now in June. And that's $900. And that's a lot of money to be spending on Facebook ads if I'm not getting much return on my investment. And then the other thing, and you don't even notice it, right? You don't even notice it because when you set up the Facebook ad account, you can tell Facebook, oh, when my ad spend reaches this much. So I just put 300 because I didn't think it was ever going to get there. But hey, guess what? It does. That's when it can process your credit card and take the money off your credit card. So anyway, I should probably change that. But so it's at $300. And I was like, yeah, having this mini panic attack about the money and thought to myself, wow, who does that? Like that's nearly $1,000 a month. And I could be using that money in the business on, maybe another coach or something else, And then that was that one. And then the other thing that I sell with Facebook ads now. So I sell this one organically and with Facebook ads. So organic sales just means you don't pay anything to anyone to sell, right? You just sell it in your stories or you sell it in your social media or you sell it via email, things like that. The other thing that I sell through a paid Facebook ad is also my essential forms in private practice. That is getting another upgrade this week because I've had 2 requests for 2 more things. So there's going to be an upgrade in there too. So if you've got that and you've already purchased that, amazing, you already get free upgrades. So you'll be able to see those upgrades on the weekend. I'll let you know when it's happened. But anyway, so those essential forms, they're $47 because they get sold all over the world. So it was really interesting because when I was talking to, I'll tell you about that in a minute, but there's an even spread. So as many people buy them in Australia as they do in the United Kingdom, as they do in America, United States of America, and as they do in Canada. So that was really interesting. It was actually 25%. Can you believe that? I had no idea. But when I look at the breakdown of my ads purchases for the PP 101 Start a Private Practice program, I sell to those 4 countries, but it's only Australian people that are buying that at the moment. In the past, it's been people from other countries, but at the moment, it's just Australians. So anyway, interesting. So yeah, had this mini meltdown. Now, there was a lady that I know, her name's Michelle, and I really like Michelle very much, and we swim in some of the same circles. So we were kind of like Facebooky online colleagues, friends type of thing. And then I said to her recently, would you like to come into my group, PP 101, Start a Private Practice, and let them know about what Facebook marketing is and Facebook ads and support them with that? And she was like, of course, I'd be happy to help you out with that. So she did. And she did a training for us and it was super helpful. And she was in the group and answering people's questions, etc., etc. And of course, I thought, well, hey, I'll do her training as well because why not? I've got access to it. So I did her training too. And then I ended up, she has her own membership. And her membership is for Facebook ads. And it was never something I thought that I was going to join because I don't know. I was going to say to you just then, I don't like Facebook ads, but I don't know why I was going to say that. I don't know. I don't even know where that belief came from. But anyway, it didn't feel like it lit me up, let's just say, to join a Facebook ads membership. But I did. And as part of that, I got some time with her because, I was one of the first, I think for the first 10 people or something, she gave a free coaching call or two too. So I was one of those lucky people and I was so thankful. So anyway, I had a call with her and I had a call with her last week. And it went really well. We screen shared. I gave her access to my Facebook ad account and she was doing all kinds of things that I had no idea what she was doing or it's just not my thing, okay? And then anyway, then I said to her during the week, like it might have been on the weekend actually, I sent her a little message just to say, hey, how are you, blah, blah, blah. And then Yesterday I sent her a message to say, yeah, I'm thinking of turning off my ads because I just got this notification from Meta saying I've spent another 300 and I don't know that I'm making my money back on these ads and da 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 da. And she said, hey, wait, don't do it yet. Let's talk. So this morning we had a conversation and, I really valued it because number one, I'm not tech savvy when it comes to Facebook ads. It's not, as I said, it's not my thing. But what I realized while I was talking with her was that, hey, guess what? I've got some mindset issues. Can you believe that? Me with some mindset issues. Yep, I do. So I was freaking out about the money and I was like saying to her, well, if I'm spending all this money and I'm not getting anything back, da 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 da. And she said, whoa, let's just have a look first. So we had a look and I'll give you just the short version because you don't need all the technical stuff. But the short version was for every dollar I'm putting in, I'm getting $3 back. And I had no idea. And, it makes sense because there's always money in that credit card to pay for the Facebook ads. It's got to be coming from somewhere. So anyway, that was really interesting. I mean, part of me still quite doesn't believe it, but the other party was like, well, she showed you in black and white. It's true that it's actually happening and you're making this money. And she was surprised because I hadn't set up my Facebook ads correctly. I'd been following guidance from somebody else about how to set up my Facebook ads and I got it wrong. I got it a little bit screwy and made some errors and I was just doing things my own way, the Brooklyn way. And what had ended up happening was, I created like 2 winning ads, not one, but 2 winning ads that now give me 300% return on my investment. So guess what we spoke about today? We spoke about what would it look like for you? Like, how would you feel if we increased your ad spend? And of course, like I nearly had a heart attack. I was like, oh my gosh, like calm down, one step at a time. And she's like, but can you not see that for every dollar going in, you're getting 3 back? And I was like, I can see it. And she's like, so what's the fear? And I'm like, I don't know, like just what if it doesn't work? And it was all the what ifs. And I said to her, I'm so sorry. Like, this is not about trusting you and it's not about trusting the Facebook ads or anything like that. I'm in my head about the money today. And it was so great because it really, I don't know, it was nice for me to be a client again and really appreciate that even when I have conversations with people who want to work with me, it's not that they don't trust me about the investment. It's that maybe they're in their own heads about the money and am I going to be able to afford it? And what if, and what if, and what if? So I found myself in that position. And I'm so thankful that I did because it gave me new insights and new awareness and it was the kick in the butt that I needed. So anyway, it was really lovely to be able to sit down and work through some of that stuff and to look at the evidence there in black and white, but to still myself feel like, well, I know it's there in black and white, but do I trust it? Can I trust it? And then I said to her, thank you so much for letting me sit here and spend time not looking at my Facebook ad dashboard, but talking to you about what's coming up for me and for you to be able to hold that space through my vulnerability was so helpful because now I feel like, okay, let's go and increase the ad spend. So that's what we did. We increased the ad spend today and I'm not even worried about it. And I've turned on 2 new ads. I know. So my ad spend was, I think, what was it for? So I had the lead gen ad going for between 5 and 10, say $10 a day. And then the other 2 ads for the forms and for the PP 101 were $15 a day each. So that was, say, $40 a day. It sounds like a heck of a lot, but honestly, you don't notice it. Because it's not happening consciously, right? The money's just being spent without you needing to do anything. So you don't notice it. $40 a day, it isn't really that much, to be honest. It isn't really that much. It sounds like a lot when you're in your own business, working for yourself, and you're thinking, $40 a day, Brooklyn, oh my gosh, multiply that by, 31 days. Here we go. I'm just getting up my calculator now because I know what you're thinking, because I thought the same thing too. So what did I say? $40 multiplied by, say, 31, worst case scenario, 31 days in a month. There we go. That's my whole ad spend, $1,240 a month. So that ad spend sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? It really does. But now if I multiply that by 3, that's $3,720 that I bought in as a result of that ad spend. So if I just deduct one from the other, 1240, take 1240. So I actually spent 1,240, but I made 2,480 in profit. Right? I know, it's so good. And had she not showed me that, I would have just thought, oh, this is horrible. I'm just spending all of this money and I'm not getting any results, but clearly I am. The other thing that came out of this was I have low prices at the moment compared to other things. So she was able to walk me through what other people in my niche are offering and their prices and things like that. And mine are well below average. And that was really interesting for me to hear too, because again, I was confronted with my own money stuff thinking, oh my gosh, it's 33 US dollars and that's about $50 Australian a month for people to be in my membership there, etc., etc. Maybe that's too much and and I don't want to lose people or make it so that people can't join. But then when I saw what other people in my niche were charging for similar things, they're charging like $200 or $300 a month, not 33. So then I realized in my own mind, it was what I could see in my mind was counselors that should be charging 150, or that I would like to be charging 150, who are actually only charging 80, right? When they get to become aware, because I was unaware of the disparity. I was unaware. And I guess when some counsellors are charging or undercharging, they're doing $60 sessions or $80 sessions or $90 sessions. And even for couples work, they're doing $90 sessions, and they're not even 50 or 60-minute sessions. They're an hour and a half session. When someone like me says, well, hang on, are you aware that the average session fee in Australia is $150? I felt like how they must have felt. And I could also see, like, I want to say to them, come on, give me a hand. Let me yank you up here. Let me pull you up. Come on, I'll give you a hand. Let's get you from the bottom of the hill up to the top of the hill with everybody else. Come on. I'll help you do that. That's what Michelle was able to do for me today. She was sort of saying to me, no, look, everyone else is at the top of the hill here. You're down the bottom here. Come on, let's get you up to the top of the hill. And it was scary, but I am going to make some changes to my fees as well. And of course, they're not going to affect current clients. So whatever, if they're paying 33 US dollars a month now to be in the membership, that's what they'll be on. They're not going to be affected by the new price rise. And you know what? I'm just going to do it incrementally. I'm just going to do it a little bit at a time. So I'm making changes to my pricing now on the 1st of July. And I actually feel really aligned with it now that I've seen some data. That feels really, really good. And then the other things that I'm doing are, let me just check my notes just quickly. I'm going to introduce a mastermind. Because I don't only work with emerging therapists in private practice, okay? I also, work with psychologists and social workers and accredited mental health social workers and counsellors and, allied health practitioners and allied health professionals, that are past that. They're well and truly into private practice, but they're wanting to take their practice to that next level for them, whatever that can look like. Maybe it's going to be around recruiting new team. Maybe it's around expanding the practice. Maybe it's around expanding service delivery, those kinds of things. So I'll be introducing a mastermind, and I haven't decided what that's going to be, but it'll be either $1,000 or $1,000 a month to join that, because I haven't been providing services to those clients. I think my focus, as you know, has been mostly on supporting people who are, either just starting their private practice or other parts of our community, like diploma counselors, really supporting them and rolling my sleeves up and doing some advocacy work there, etc., etc. But there's more people that I can and want to support as well. So just, I guess, making a really clear pathway for people. So in July, what I'll be doing is for myself, and this is something that maybe you could consider doing as well, is just reviewing your services and reviewing what you're offering your clients and reviewing the pathways for them. So, like for me, I want to have different things. I want to have ways that they can get to know me that don't cost them anything, like with the Counsellors Connect group or the ACPPO, or following my Instagram or my YouTube or listening to the podcast. So I want to give free material and content and information so that people can get to know me without it being a risk for them financially. And then when they're ready, they can come and work with me for $50 a month in that PP 101 group. And then when they're ready to graduate from that, they can go to the inner circle if they want, or if they're wanting help with their marketing, they can then move into marketing with Soul if they want, etc., etc. And of course, there's still a little bit of supervision, mentoring and coaching, not much. I have very, very limited spots for that because I'm very protective of my time, as you know. And then, I want to have this other pathway for people who don't need to start a private practice because they're already in it and they're not wanting that one-to-one intensive coaching. They've already got a supervisor or a mentor, but they are wanting to do more things to expand the practice or evolve the practice or take it to that next level. So that's where the mastermind's coming in. So having this conversation this morning helped me get a top-down bird's eye view look at my business through a fresh set of eyes, and I could see gaps. And I'm so thankful because that's what coaching to me is all about. It's about having somebody be able to see your blind spots and feed them back to you so that then you can say, oh, okay, I see now. I do need to do something differently. So it was like super duper helpful. The other thing that I realized, not from my talk with Michelle, but something I realized kind of related to that talk, was that I do spend a lot of money on Facebook ads encouraging people to come and join the free communities, yet I often hold back on selling in those free communities because, again, just my own mindset. I don't want everybody to say, oh, here goes Brooklyn trying to sell stuff to us again, stuff like that. But lately, like I did in Dells for Delight, I changed the banner. So when I was running that promotion, 3 or 4 weeks ago now, I did advertise by putting the banner in the Facebook groups, and then it sold out in a week. And so then I just changed the banner to say it had sold out. But since then, I haven't really sold anything in the groups, and I don't even really sell things in my email very much. I usually use the email to update people on what's happening in their programs or what's happening in the community, or to let them know, hey, we're having PACFA on for a guest talk, or do you know what I mean? It's usually more sort of information sharing. So today I did send out an email though to update Private Practice 101 members that they can now do these mini courses and get up to 3 points per course for their professional development. And in that, I did include a call to action to say to people, hey, if you're not in it, but you're interested in learning more about it, you can click here now. But I need to do proper emails to my list that let people know what I'm offering. And I guess it's just never really felt aligned for me before, but it does feel aligned now because, I have to remember those people are in my world because they wanted to know something from me, receive something from me, connect with other people, be in my space, etc., etc. And I don't think anybody's going to get offended if I say to them, well, by the way, did you know that there is this thing available over here if you need it? And the reason that I believe that now is two things. Number one, my coach, not Michelle, but my other coach, like, I've always got multiple coaches on the go. They don't do the same thing, okay? They all do different things. So I'm a big believer in reinvesting in my business. But I shared this with my other coach. She was like, well, why aren't you selling to your email list? And why aren't you selling your services like to your groups and on your profile and stuff like that? I was like, oh, I'm just scared. And what if they all hate me? And what if nobody wants to buy my stuff? And what if they all unsubscribe and leave and stuff like that? Or what if they get offended? And she said to me, how dare they? How dare they, Brooklyn? How dare they get offended? They're there because they want this information from you. If they didn't want it, they wouldn't be there. Okay? So nobody's going to get offended. I was like, okay. So it really helped me. Like, her name is Katrina and she is very different to me. I'm very soft. But Katrina's very, well, do you know what? She sends an email every single day, once or twice a day. And, you know, she always calls her emails, here's your daily dose of ass kickery. Can you believe that? And I read them every single day. Because I don't know, maybe sometimes you need that other type of approach. And she's spiritual too, but she's just got a very different way of being in her spirituality. So anyway, I'm digressing. So she has a different way of seeing things again, which just sometimes I really need that cold bucket of water, you know, to sort of wake me up and say, oh, you're totally right. So there are going to be some changes with me, I guess. Changes with how I show up, how I run my business, and you know, not holding back, because as much as I say to you, you know, if you want to be successful in your business too, it's about going all in terms of being fully you, right? Always being fully you. And that means not acting as if you are a therapist on your Instagram. You don't have to do that. You get to just be yourself and get clients. In fact, that's how you're going to get clients. And I'm not saying you have to overshare or, you know, tell all your deep, dark secrets. You don't have to do that. But of course, you can just be yourself and build your business. You don't have to say, oh, well, what would a therapist say about this? Or I better talk about box breathing today, or 5 mindfulness techniques I can use today. You don't have to do that. You can show up and just be yourself and still attract inquiries and still attract clients. And that's so important for you to know, because it's something that I, as you're hearing today, also need to remind myself of too. So I'm always genuine and I'm always honest, and I always give, well, pretty much all of myself, I would say. But when it comes to selling, sometimes, yes, that's difficult for me as well. Not all the time. There are times in my business where I'm very comfortable doing it, but then there are times when I'm not. So I just wanted to share this with you today so that you can see, if you have trouble with calls to action on your social media or in your emails or however you're advertising your practice, you know, you're not alone. And even someone with almost 30 years of experience like me still has trouble with it from time to time as well. The important thing is that you learn, and that you're willing to be coachable, and that you're willing to work through things, and that you're willing, because do you know what? Your stuff is always going to come up. Like, think about the first fee you started charging for your work. Those of you who are, you know, into fee number 3 or 4 or 5 or more, think about the first fee you started charging, how you felt about that. And then when you raised it, think about what came up for you and what came through for you. It was probably a whole bunch of stuff, money mindset stuff probably. Social justice stuff as well. I mean, I believe therapists are very price sensitive, because sometimes we have so much trouble like charging our own fee, then we get our nose out of joint when somebody's got something that we want and they're charging a fee for it, we kind of think, well, hey, I don't operate like that, so you shouldn't be operating like that. You should give it for free and things like that. Or you should give me more time or more this or more that. I think as therapists, we have a lot to do around money mindset in business and how we show up. Not everybody, but I think the majority of us certainly do. But when you're increasing your fees, all your things come up. And that's what happened to me today. And that's why I wanted to share it with you today, because stuff came, or my money stories came up again when I was looking at increasing my ad spend. And when I was looking at the data on my Facebook ads, all my old stuff, most of it has been processed, but there's still clearly some stuff there that hasn't been processed around what if it doesn't work, and what if I send myself broke on Facebook ads and stuff like, not that that's going to happen, but do you know how your mind just goes off to those places and it just makes up worst case scenarios, and then you kind of think, well, yeah, let's entertain that thought for a moment. So I want you to know that money mindset is something that all of us work on from time to time. We all have money gremlins and money lessons to learn. And I just learned more of mine today. So you are not alone. If you have been thinking about doing something, whether it's PD or I don't know, more supervision, or doing the EMDR course, or whatever it is that you want to do, but you hold back because of that money fear, I totally understand it. But I think what helped me cross the line today, what helped me process it and get through it today, was having somebody to talk with about it, and somebody who was on the other side, and somebody who was looking at my stuff and it was in her wheelhouse. I think the fear was because this isn't my wheelhouse, so I didn't feel like I had much control. I felt like I was in the dark. I felt like I was a novice, all those kinds of things. So it did require trust, but speaking to somebody whose big passion and whole career has been built on Facebook ads, in this example, made it easier for me to process my stuff. So for you, if you get caught up in money mindset about getting another supervisor or a coach or doing a course or even joining a membership or something like that, then I would encourage you to speak to somebody about it who has all that stuff in their wheelhouse, right? I could talk to you about private practice all day long, and I could help get you over the line all day long when it comes to private practice. I just couldn't do it for myself when it came to Facebook ads. So I had this experience today that I wanted to share with you so that you feel like you're not alone, because you're not. There is no end, like there's no end point, because you're always going to have stuff come up, okay? Whether it's investing or spending money or whatever it is, you will always have stuff come up, and it's okay. And it doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you're not strong enough. It doesn't mean you're unsuccessful. It doesn't mean anything at all, unless you make it mean something to you. What I chose to make it mean to me today was I'm in the discomfort having a conversation around ad spend and around the money, because I'm in the discomfort of that, because I now know that this feeling happens to me before I grow. I'm experienced enough to know that I can recognize this feeling as a sign of my own expansion and as a sign of my own growth. It's a growing pain. It's not pleasant. You don't like being in that space of discomfort. But what's on the other side is relief, excitement, abundance, confidence, all the good things, okay? So that's the other thing that I wanted to share with you too. Like, maybe get used to trying to recognize what your discomfort means for you. So as I said, discomfort for me in this context, I recognize now, although I don't want to be in it and I don't like it for a minute, I know that that's the universe telling me I'm growing. But you have to figure out for yourself what your sign is. It could be similar to mine. It might be something totally different, but have a think about it. Okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. So Facebook ads, I'm totally rocking it, loving it. And yeah, if you need a good Facebook ads person, I can recommend Michelle. Her name is Michelle Tarasenko. So if you were in Private Practice 101, you would have done her training and you would be connected with her. She's still in our group. If you're in the Private Practice Inner Circle, you've still got all her training forever, and you've got her contact details, and you can join her membership as well if you want help with your Facebook ads. It's probably more for people who are scaling. I don't know, but just I want you to know that anything's possible. But the big lessons today were recognize what the signs of growth are for you in your private practice. For me, it's that feeling of fear and discomfort. If you get stuck, ask for help from somebody who's an expert, okay? Don't ask somebody in a free Facebook group for their opinion on something. Definitely go to an expert. Go to somebody who's got authority, got credibility, who knows their stuff and can put you on the right path. So don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what I did. I asked Michelle for help because she was an expert in the Facebook ads. But if you need help with private practice, of course, you can come to me if you like. Just send me a message or, a DM or something like that on social. So just some tips to take away with you, and I hope that they're really, really helpful. The other thing that I did today that I'd love to share with you is I started tracking my time, and I downloaded an extension from Chrome called Clockify. That's Clockify. It's a free Google Chrome extension. And what I'm doing is I'm just tracking my work day so I normally start work at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I finish around 12 o'clock, give or take a little bit. So I just wanted to see how I'm spending my time, and I'm just about to, this is my last activity for today, which is I'm looking at my Clockify now, and it just says I wrote down recording a podcast, and that task has been going for 41 minutes so far. So I know it will take me another few minutes to do. But other things that I've got that I listened to my diary for today. The first thing that I did was I listed 5 things on my Etsy store for Hey Therapist. That took me 24 minutes. Then I added new members into the Facebook groups. Then I responded to their comments and things like that. Then I made some social media stuff. Then I did a coaching session. My client was a no-show, so that was okay. Then I got back into the creating stuff for my social. Then I wrote and sent an email. Then I responded to more comments. Then I welcomed new members. Then I had my own Facebook ads coaching call. Then I checked my Facebook ads, I checked Facebook comments and messages again. Then I uploaded a video to YouTube and Instagram. Then I wrote a testimonial for Michelle because she was so awesome. And now I'm up to recording a podcast. But it's been really, really interesting to see where all the time's going. Already I can see most of my time spent looking at comments and messages and stuff like that on my social. So that's really interesting. And I'm sure if I did this for a whole week, I would be able to figure out more effective and efficient ways to spend my time. The other thing too that I'm noticing with Clockify today is I don't know that I've done anything that's really billable today, other than that missed coaching session or supervision session. But I did list 5 things on Etsy, so that will help me financially. That will help bring in sales to the business. And the other thing that I did, my social will help bring in inquiries through being more visible and connecting with people. The podcast will bring in more visibility for me and will generate more inquiries. And looking at the Facebook ads today for that hour with Michelle will definitely help. So I have spent time, most of my tasks this morning have been intentional in terms of boosting visibility with the bigger goal to generate more inquiries, with the bigger goal to take inquiries through to sales or bookings or, course enrollments and things like that. So, there's that pathway that we were speaking about before, but maybe have a look at how you spend your time. I'm already seeing that I spend way too much time checking my Facebook comments, and that's actually robbed me of, nearly an hour today already. I could possibly just do that morning and then late afternoon and just do it twice a day. I don't need to have Facebook open all day long. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you if you are interested in seeing where you're spending your time and how you could be doing it differently. And I think an app like Clockify is going to be really, really helpful for people who feel like they do a lot of stuff in their business, but they're not moving the needle. They're not getting inquiries. They're not getting paid. They're not getting enrollments or sales to their retreat or whatever it is you're focusing on, sales of their bundles or packages, because if you can see, what each activity is doing, you'll be able to say, well, this one is an income producing activity. This one is a billable activity. This one is more about, well, as I was saying before, visibility, boosting my visibility, things like that. It gives you that insight, and you can say, well, hey, look, I am busy. I've got so many tasks on here for my work day, but actually none of them were really doing anything that was going to get me a client. And that awareness can help be the change for what you're going to do different the next day. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that's the podcast for today. So I'm almost finished work now. It's 11 past 12. I guess it's probably going to take me another 2 or 3 minutes to export the episode from GarageBand and upload it to Podbean, write the description, publish it, and then share it. So again, just making sure what you're doing, the tasks you're doing each day, have a purpose and have an intention. So with my podcast, it's about giving information, giving education, sharing authentic insights by being very real. But hopefully it's really, the podcast for me is about building connection. And I know it's a one-way connection, but I want to build that connection because that connection is then going to lead to business growth down the track. It will allow me to help people because people will have a chance to get to know me, know who I am, know what I'm about, know how I work, etc., etc. And when they're ready, if they want to come and do a retreat, or if they want to have supervision, or if they want to join PP 101 or something like that, hopefully I'll be on top of their mind. Is that how you say it? I'll be top of mind, or my products and services will be top of mind. That would be amazing. Okay, so anyway, just wanted to share that with you. That's been my morning. I will continue to use Clockify until Wednesday next week, and I can give you a little bit of a self-assessment and let you know what I'll be doing differently in my business as we move into the new financial year, and what I'll be keeping. And I hope that by sharing that information, it helps you with your practice too. So thank you so much for listening. Happy Wednesday. Have a lovely day. Bye. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is @theprivatepracticecoach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Bye.